More than 300 years ago, the land that would become Cleveland Park was isolated and wild. Its earliest settlers could never have predicted that beautiful homes would someday grow here to rival nature's beauty, or that one family of architects would be responsible for a collection of standout homes in the heart of Cleveland Park. But it didn't happen overnight. Before there was Cleveland Park, before there was even a national capital on the banks of the Potomac, there was Rosedale. In 1790, Revolutionary War veteran Uriah Forrest and partner Benjamin Stoddard bought a 100-acre tract of land and dubbed it Pretty Prospects. This land included parts of present-day Cleveland Park, Woodley Park, Massachusetts Avenue Heights, Van Ness, and the grounds of the National Cathedral. In 1794, Uriah renamed the property Rosedale and expanded an existing cottage built in the 1730s, now considered to be the oldest home in the District of Columbia. This would become the country home that his wife desired. The Coonley family rescued Rosedale from a state of decay when they moved to Washington in 1917. They had moved to D.C. from Illinois, where they had been patrons of Frank Lloyd Wright. A young architect named Waldron Faulkner came to D.C. in 1934 and married Elizabeth Coonley. Their two sons, Winthrop and Avery, grew up to become prominent architects as well. In 1937, Waldron completed the first Faulkner home in Cleveland Park on 36th Street, on land that was part of the Rosedale estate. In the 1930s, this home stood in stark contrast to the conservative architectural styles that dominated the D.C. landscape. It was the return of individuality and eclecticism that had defined the early years of Cleveland Park's development. The two Waldron Faulkner houses on 36th Street are to date the only Faulkner family houses that are officially recognized as historic in the Cleveland Park Historic District. Yet the homes built by his son Winthrop Faulkner are instantly recognizable landmarks in the neighborhood and carry on Waldron Faulkner's legacy of bringing unique homes with striking aesthetics to the beautiful landscape of Cleveland Park. Winthrop Faulkner is responsible for a cluster of homes surrounding Rosedale, including his own residence on Ordway and a second similar house designed in the 1960s. These striking residences brought a modern aesthetic to Cleveland Park. These townhouses on 36th Street are Winthrop Faulkner's triplets. Built in the 1970s, the homes stand out among the vibrant greenery of Cleveland Park. Originally, the triplet townhouses were equipped with solar panels, a response to the energy crisis shaking America in the 1970s. Waldron, Winthrop, and Avery Faulkner left a legacy across Washington, D.C., including the Great Ape House at the National Zoo, renovations to the old patent office that created the National Portrait Gallery, and 19 buildings for American University. Cleveland Park has been described as a museum of architectural styles, an 18th century farmhouse, classic Victorian beauties, the sturdy functionality of the 1920s and 30s, renowned architect I.M. Pei's iconic design on Ordway Street, and the distinctive designs of the Faulkner family of architects. All are preserved together and complement each other in this very special place called Cleveland Park.